Your ability to influence the behaviours in your workplace come down to the extent to which you make them matter. Now reflect for a moment on the extent to which you do hold people accountable. We can set expectations, we can say this is what successful behaviour looks like, but unless we actually follow through with accountability, it's unlikely to make a difference. So accountability is both about reward and recognition and saying, well done, thank you, that's what we want more of that. But it's also about the remedial actions that we need to take to address behaviours that are not culturally aligned. So it's important that we do make behaviour matter. And this is about making sure that when we reward or recognise, when we promote, when we give people any level of opportunity, that we've given consideration to the way they actually behave. If you reward and recognise and hold up as an example somebody who has successfully kicked a goal but has behaved really poorly on the way through to getting there, that is not a great example you're setting for the rest of the organisation about what success looks like. You need to consider high performance or success to be reflective of both the results people achieve, but also actually how they go about doing that. For behaviour to matter, it's got to count when the decisions are made, as I said, around reward, recognition, promotion, but also just even keeping our job. At the end of the day, ignorance is not an excuse. It's not okay to say, I didn't realise I was making people feel bad. I didn't realise that there was a consequence to my actions. People need to take accountability. They need to have personal ownership. And if people do have unconscious biases or unconscious behaviours that lead to bullying, it's incredibly important that we actually call them out on that and we help them to understand. Through obviously a respectful approach, showcase the right behaviours in addressing the concerns that you have. But never step back from having a tough love conversation that helps someone to understand why they need to be better. I'll share with you an example of a gentleman named Matthew. Matthew was a sales manager, and when I met his CEO, the CEO was extremely frustrated by the impact that he was having on the rest of the operation. So we had high turnover in the sales team. We had extremely high turnover in the client service team, and equally there were pressures, morale issues, stress issues in the operations team. And when we explored where the issues were coming from, the central source was actually Matthew's behaviour. So his aggression, his lack of consideration, selling solutions that were not able to be delivered effectively by the team, was placing all sorts of challenges into the organisation. And fundamentally, he was a bully. My client was very nervous to hold him to account because he was the highest revenue earner. And this is an extremely common scenario I see. They're bringing in the big dollars. If I hold them to account, will I lose them? And what will that matter for my business? What my client started to realise, however, was that the potential of his entire organisation was limited, was constrained because of this one individual. He finally took the courage, sat down with Matthew and said, Matthew, things need to change. Matthew's response was, fine, you can have my resignation. And I was proud when my client held his ground and said, okay, I'll accept that. To which Matthew responded, fine, I'll think about it. And that was the moment where we'd broken the back of the issue, where Matthew realised if he wanted to stay, if he wanted to be successful, he needed to shift his behaviour, because no longer would the organisation purely measure success on the basis of his financial results.